The air temperature is absolutely brutal today because it's, well, it's raining, so it's humid. It's not even all that cold. In fact, just like specifically right now, it's fine, but maybe the air warmed up a little bit. About an hour ago, it was just stupid cold, man. Oof. Okay, anyway. Fun fact. It's cold. No, for real though. So the new video is out. It's a rather long one, so if you decide to watch it, please, let it play. Maybe on the background. Don't leave it for later. Don't open it for 5 seconds and then close it. Believe it or not, but that's like the worst thing you can do for a video. That absolutely kills it. Because it's not just the watch time that YouTube values, but specifically they want people to watch a specific video for a long time. Like YouTube wouldn't like if you uploaded like an hour-long video and then like 10 billion people watched only 10 seconds of it. YouTube really would hate that. That's why shorts do so well on YouTube, because when the video is only 10 seconds to begin with, the chances of anyone dropping out before the video ends are rather low. So you get like 100% watch time, and YouTube absolutely loves that. And if your video is like, say, if your video is like 20 minutes, for example, right? If your video is 20 minutes, wait, where's my, what the hell? Oh, god damn it. I didn't even feel that. Sorry, I had my gloves and the leash in my hand, and I didn't feel one of the gloves slipping. Okay, so yeah, when your video is like, say, 20 minutes and it's 10-minute long, chances of more people dropping out after like, say, 10 minutes are pretty high. So you're left with literally like pretty much nobody who watched your video finishing even half of it, right? And YouTube says, no. YouTube will be really satisfied with you and really proud of you, boy, if you make a 30-second long video that everyone just watches fully, multiple times in fact, on repeat. And YouTube would absolutely love that. But if you make a 20-minute long video and 10,000 people watch, well, it's a lot of watch time, even if they watch half of it, right? But no, YouTube would hate that, and YouTube would decide, nah, so many people dropping out before the end, so it must be a shit video. I need to stop recommending it. It's a waste of time having it in the algorithm. People aren't even finishing it. Get it out of the algorithm. It's garbage. It's trash. It's trash. Get it out. Come on, push. I'm standing right here. Come on. Schnell. Come on. Heini couldn't decide whether it's raining right now or not by his standards, so he's having second thoughts. Maybe I should just pull the emergency stop on the whole operation. No, you cannot. It took me literally 15 minutes to put everything on you, to put everything on myself. Yes, I too do require armor to go on these walks. There are in fact pants underneath my jeans, and 2 fucking pairs of socks on each foot. Okay, I'm just so bad. Right. I don't know what I was thinking, by the way. When I was young, I thought Weird Al, like, I don't know, when I was a baby, right? When I was a literal baby, I thought Weird Al was like funny. and almost, well, I wouldn't know back then, but in like a smart way. It's like a sophisticated comedy, really like really high IQ observational skills, you know, he demonstrates. And I don't know, dude, ever since I turned like 10 or something, like Weird Al is literally one of the least funny things I've seen as part of the mainstream culture. It's almost as confusing to me as people actually saying, non-ironically, and not in a sense where, you know, they don't make a specific case that, oh, it's just that the graphics are so good and I'm a graphics whore, so for me it's the best game ever. People say like Uncharted 4 is the best in the series. Are you for real? Okay, anyway, the new video is out. The master is on Patreon. There will be 3 more videos just like that. One of them will be vastly different in style. It will be more in line with the style of kind of like synthy lives that I do usually with synthesizers like this. It's rather hard. It's very inconvenient, and it's limiting. Trying to do like dark, you know, noisy, deep, ritualistic like electronica using non-modular synthesizers, because just constantly feel like I have my back, I have my hands tied behind my back. There are some synthesizers that I could absolutely have. I almost said, even in the modular array, there are some synthesizers I could still use, like hardwired synthesizers, I mean. But in reality, no, I wouldn't. If I ever got like a giant, you know, like a wardrobe sized, oh God, entertainment unit, you know, wardrobe sized modular array, I would never touch another hardwired synthesizer ever in my life. And it's not because I, like, there's some kind of resent I harbor, you know, against them. No, it's just that it would never come up. You know, it's like, if you gave me 10 gaming PCs, would I be using all 10? No, I'd be using 1, right? So yeah, if you gave me a giant modular array, it would just never come up, you know, using any degree, any level of any kind of a hardwired synthesizer. But there are a few, even today, that I absolutely love, that can do some absolutely amazing stuff. And I respect the fuck out of those. And then there's 90% of all the others that literally 5 minutes into learning them and I'm already like, are you kidding me? One LFO with 2 targets? Like, you know, it's like, I don't know, what's the point? You might as well just make an electric piano at that point. You might as well just make a rumpler, you know, with no ability to modulate anything. Just make a rumpler at the point. Like, there's, like, what's the point? Having one LFO with like 2 targets. Remember microbrood? I have microbrood in some of these upcoming videos. Microbrood has a patch panel, modulation patch panel. You know what that patch panel has? That patch panel has 6 destinations between 2 outputs, and you can only output each. You can only do 1 destination per output. So literally, you have 2 outs. It's LFO and modulation, I believe, or something. I don't know. It's LFO and the other one I don't remember what. I think it's just like fixed vibrato or something. I already forget. In between them, you have either 6 or 4 destinations. I think it's 6. I think it's 3 and 3. What's them? I think it's, yeah, I think the whole matrix is 8 by 8. But anyway, so it's like, okay, so the whole patch panel is I didn't look too closely at it, right? Didn't look too closely at it ever until I got the actual thing in front of me. And when I did, I was like, okay, so you could have just had a switch. You could You could have had a switch. Like, why do you have this patch panel? Like, okay. So, one of the upcoming videos will be more in style with the, like, experimental synthy, you know, I'm a boomer, you know, I'm just a boomer tinkering with my synthesizers, you know, type video. Absolutely. It will be more like that. And two more will be in a similar style, but they will be shorter. One is almost like, one will be literally half the length of this drone that I just uploaded, Zanjaku drone. And another one will be, I think, even shorter, like literally 10 minutes. Or will it be 10 minutes long? I don't remember. I think it's the live. The synthy live track will be like 30 minutes. But the two more ritual tracks, one will be 20 minutes and the other I think will be literally 10. At least that's how I remember. Sorry guys, I'm working on all of them kind of simultaneously because they're all part of the same recording session. Well, actually not the same session, but the same, I don't know how to put it, the same series of recording sessions. So I actually do not remember which one is the 10-minute long one. I think it's 10 and 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. There will be 3 more videos. Okay, 3 big live performance, synthesizer tinkering, live drone, you know, type videos. And they should all be out by the end of January, along with a new LP, which will include all of them. Although the LP itself will be split in 2 releases, and the main one is definitely coming out till around late January. Maybe I will space out a little bit the second half of the release, because the second half of the release will be separate. It'll be like those other 2 tracks will be like a separate release that I will call, well, same thing plus B-sides. So it's I want to make it a separate release because, like, tonally, 2 of those 3 tracks that are coming could potentially work, but also it's redundant to have them next to that one big drone that's coming. The live drone session of that track, as you can judge by the video, is 40 minutes long. Well, it's 39 and a half actually, and I stretched the length of the video purposely so that the player says 39:39, but the actual length is something like 39:27 or something. There's literally 10 seconds of nothing at the end of the video, because I just thought it funny, you know, to have a 39:39 video. 39 minutes, 39 seconds, I mean. Okay, so yeah, and which actually, by the way, needs to be rendered as something before the end of the 28th second, because if you actually specifically render 39:39, either Final Cut Pro adds 1 additional frame, or just like when rendering, which I don't like. Rendering needs to be frame perfect. If my region ends here, that's where the end of the render needs to be, unless there's any kind of like echo, you know, reverb effect maybe, but then there needs to be a separate setting for like audio tail. Anyway, all of those things need to be exposed, and Final Cut Pro does not expose any of it. It's a step above iMovie, but not far enough into, you know, like a Vegas type of territory at all. There's way too many things that are not exposed in that thing. Anyway, so it's not frame perfect, so maybe it just randomly adds 1 more frame, so YouTube will treat it as like 39:40. So the render needs to happen at 39 seconds, and then like 38 seconds, and then like 1 more frame, you know. or at least one frame before the 39. Like it cannot reach the actual 39 seconds because it'll render one additional frame if it's literally at 39 seconds, and YouTube will translate that into 40 seconds, or go like make it even more idiotic, make it literally 38 seconds, and then one frame will be added. YouTube will read it as 39 anyway. You're definitely not gonna go above that way. 30 additional frames are not just gonna appear out of nowhere. It's a 30 frame 30 FPS video, of course, because I was doing it, recording it on Heini, come on, let's go back. Recording it on OBS, of course. It's a 40-minute video. I couldn't record it on my phone because modern phones, don't have any storage for some reason, and you cannot insert an SD card in them. So yeah, also very, very handy. Love modernity. Modern technology is just so useful. But yeah, I was using DroidCam OBS and OBS in and of itself, obviously, to record over an hour worth of footage originally, because it actually took multiple takes to record that guy. Almost everything on this album, it took hours to actually record. And yes, each take was like 30 to 40 minutes. Some takes were 10 minutes, then I would make a big mistake and start again. Some takes were like literally the entire take almost, and then towards the end I realized that I was screwing something up the entire time or something like that. So yeah, it actually took a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of planning, even just to make that video, to have OBS running like on a completely separate laptop, because I was already multi-track recording, because I wanted to mix the whole thing properly for a proper LP, not just like a crappily, slightly remastered version of whatever I quickly mixed on the fly for like the live situation. No, I wanted to do a multi-track recording, and I decided, okay, video I'm gonna record on OBS, and live God damn it, what do you call it? DroidCam OBS plugin is absolutely fantastic, but somehow it only it should transmit 60 FPS, but it just doesn't. It doesn't. It literally doesn't transmit 60 FPS for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, in the settings, it's 60 FPS. It's not locked by any kind of like, subscribe for $10 a month to unlock all features. Nope, it's right there, 60 FPS. It doesn't go. It's 30, So it's 30. But it doesn't matter because no one really watches those. Well, actually, it kind of does matter. I think 60 FPS would look so much better for those vids. But you know what would also make them look better? If the fucking resolution was actual, like, real resolution and not that crap that I get from DroidCam. Because again, DroidCam says it's 1080p. And it does look better than, say, 720p setting, of the same setup. But no, it does not. It does not look like actual 1080p even remotely. It's way blurrier. So yeah, I don't know what's up with all that setup, but that was the only way I could do it. You think maybe there would be an easier way to maybe like do the cable thing? I tried doing cable, Droid for OBS and DroidCam for OBS didn't support it for me for some reason. It didn't work, and I tried a couple more apps. No, actually, a lot of them work over Wi-Fi. Hardly any of them work with Pushy Pushy. I see it. It's a piece of poop. It could be even yours. Actually, I don't know. Everything's possible. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. So yeah, whole thing out. There will be 3 more tracks, all awesome, obviously. But yeah, consider watching. But if you don't feel like watching, maybe don't click, because if you watch for 5 seconds and then click away, it'll kill the video. Tomorrow I will upload the zoomer cropped version, which is literally the same video but inside a vertical canvas. Yes, I'm not actually gonna rotate the video. I'm not gonna crop it in any other way, because there's nothing to crop. If I crop, like, I'm gonna crop half the video out, if I do it. So yeah, just like my previous thing, the Live 12, Live 1-2 video that I uploaded, and it got like 20 views. And then I literally just put the same thing into a vertical canvas. So you realize, right? It's like a vertical canvas, and in the middle there is a thin line of a widescreen video. Yeah, it got like 1,000 views in one day. Just absolutely fantastic, right? So I'm gonna do the same thing tomorrow with this video. I could do them simultaneously, but let's space them out for, well, because YouTube likes when you upload a lot and consecutively, right? It likes when you upload every day. So uploading 10 videos in one day, YouTube will probably appreciate it and stuff, but if you uploaded them as one video a day over 10 days, YouTube will like it much more. So yeah, Zoomer version is coming out, yeah, tomorrow, and it is already on Patreon though. You can get it on Patreon, and the original, and the Live 1-2, by the way, is on Patreon as well in the same post. And the other 3 tracks, all associated with the upcoming LP that I'm working on, of course, will also be in that post. So if you get that post, it's a paid post. It's a $3 post. I would do it $1, honestly, guys. But Patreon, it sounds like a cope, but I'm serious. $3 is the minimum price you can set on Patreon, and that's why, by the way, on Bandcamp the minimum price, I don't think it exists. I don't think you can set like 1 cent on Bandcamp, but you can have $1. But that's why on Bandcamp everything is $3 too, because I don't want any of the platforms, you know, to compete with each other. It's like a Steam type of thing. You cannot have a game on Steam and then on the Steam page have the advertisement for that same game being sold on your website for half the price. Like, well, first of all, you can't have the advertisement for that game being sold anywhere else, period, you know, because that's Steam. You think Steam is your friend? No. Steam is the Roman Empire, and it disposes of every single threat, potential threat it may have, on the spot. And in fact, that's why it's one of the reasons why Steam is doing so well. It's because anything that would not necessarily be perfect for anything that's not benefiting Steam at all financially right now is just not on Steam. You cannot even add a link to Spotify for the soundtrack of the game to your Steam page. Steam will not allow you to do that. No. Soundtrack? You gotta buy the soundtrack on Steam, of course. You know, so we can collect. Guys, you cannot sell your soundtrack on Bandcamp, you know, and market it on your Steam page for your video game. Nope. Nope, not allowed. So yeah. Thanks so much, Annie. Thanks so much. What a good boy. Okay. What was I talking about? I don't remember. Yeah, I didn't want to, you know, have it so that I'm selling music on one platform and I charge there such and such, and then I charge something else on a different platform, because first of all, it screws over the customer, right? Because they're going to end up buying something on Patreon for $3, and then they see that I have the same thing on Bandcamp for $1. You know, they're not going to feel great about that. Let alone they wouldn't feel great about that if, you know, prices were actually real. Like, I'm charging purely symbolically, obviously. Because, like, what's the point? I don't have any audience right now. If I start charging for things properly, it's all but guaranteed that I will never have any kind of audience, you know. So I'm charging purely symbolically right now. But even that, you know, people will notice. People will notice. The kind of people who will find me and might follow me, they would notice. So, trying to unify things. And $3 is still symbolic. So it's just purely... it's ritualistic. Anyway, so yeah, 3 more tracks coming. Video is out, Zoomer version tomorrow. Yeah, I did the whole rant review on Slop of Tsushima, by the way, and I don't think I even brought this up once, but the game absolutely, well, now that I say it out loud, actually I'm feeling a deja vu. I think I might have said that already, but I don't remember saying it. But I just randomly remembered, because I played another Sony Slop game recently, and it really traumatized me. So, I randomly remembered Slop of Tsushima. And for some reason the game violently refuses to translate the word kami. Despite the word kami, obviously, you know, in the context of Japanese gods, Shinto gods specifically, I mean, you know, it doesn't mean quite the same thing. Well, it specifically means, you know, the gods of the Shinto, I don't even want to call it pantheon, it's more like a system, right? But you get what I'm saying. Yeah, of course. It's just like you say, you know, Thor is the god of the god of Zanda. The god of Zanda, you know, he is, like, you understand that it's not the same kind of god as in, like, the omnipresent, omniscient, you know, god that's like Yahweh or something like that, right? We understand that, you know, we have the god, understanding of, not even necessarily the Christian god, you know, or like the Jewish Yahweh or Allah, anything like that. But we have the understanding of the Iluvatar, because many religions, including fiction religions, right? If you ever been into speculative fiction, science fiction, you know that you can come up with an Iluvatar for almost any kind of culture, you know, for almost any kind of setting, like whatever. So the idea, you know, the belief in the Iluvatar is not specific for the like Abrahamic, you know, circus, but we understand that, like in English, it's still the same word is being used. God damn it! So if you're gonna translate, yeah, I don't know, just saying something like Amaterasu is the kami of sunlight. Where's my Reddit account? Technically, the word God is not appropriate in this, bitch. Well then, play the game in Japanese. Play the game in Japanese, switch your phone to Japanese, switch your Reddit settings to Japanese, go join Japan as a culture, have fun, assimilating, by the way, and, you know, just being part of it in general, you know, being welcomed. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's something I attempted at one point in my life, and I'm all, you know, I'm pro assimilation. I 100% think that if you love Japan, then you know, when in Japan, you know, when in Rome, you do, you do Japan. So absolutely, dude, when using the word kami, talking about Amaterasu, in Japanese, with Japanese people or other scholars of Japanese culture, otherwise, right? Maybe not necessarily from Japan, you get what I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to use the word kami and smugly nod to each other, being like, he uses the word kami because he knows I speak Japanese. Sophistication much. Much respect. But if you're a translator, you know, like, guess which word the Japanese people use when they translate, like God of War, Ragnarok, or 2018, or whatever, to Japanese. Guess which word they use to say God when they say, oh, that's a god. Oh, you're a god of bullshit. Oh, you're a god of rain. Oh, Boulder is a god of, you know, drinking a lot. Or whatever. Everyone's a loser, even in the first game. Boulder is supposed to be such an epic fucking dude, and they just... I mean, the second game is even worse. Every single god in the second game is just some deformed, just abomination of a humanoid. Yeah. Baldur at least had this, you know, oi mate, oi, you know, type of charm to him. But anyway, right? Like, the word used is kami, okay? Because it's not just a contextually used, you know, to say, well, what if you absolutely hate the word God, right? Because you feel like God means either Yahweh or like, you know, Odin and Thor. Well, that doesn't make any sense to me, because those things are profoundly different, but you're still going to use the word God. Okay, so why cannot you use the English word God when you talk about Amaterasu? That doesn't make any sense to me. But you're a weeb, I suppose, so you want to just not, you want to not translate the word kami. So the actual word you would use in English if you were like forced to at gunpoint would be like deity, maybe, or maybe spirit. Although, again, when you talk about someone like Amaterasu, I suppose maybe they differentiate, maybe they do. Well, because, you know, Japanese pantheon also differentiates, of course, between those things. Maybe they say something like, you know, the greater kami, or something like that. In fact, I believe they do use that even in the translation. But they still use the word kami. Okay, so, well, what do you think the word deity means when you talk about someone like Thor? Well, it means exactly the same thing. By the way, here's one, and over there is the other. The lawnmowers here that were just left here to rot. Just a fantastic place to just leave something like this forever. Yeah, the forest will take care of it. Yeah, sure. Of course it will. Why wouldn't it? Anyway, so yeah, it is very weeby, very strange. And I do not remember there being any kind of note passed around declaring that, you know, hence this day onward. I know I fucked it up, but you get the idea. The word kami, in the context of deities of the Shinto pantheon, shall not be translated to English as God. For deeply academically, you know, justified reasons. Really? I don't know. I don't think you understand the actual colloquial use of that word in Japanese, because it's a Japanese word. So let's look first at how the Japanese use the word, right? And then decide whether it should be translated. Truth is that if the Japanese, I don't know what the actual like Nordic, what's the Hyperborean word for God? I don't know what the Nords used instead of the word God, and I don't know if otherwise the same word would also be like used for like a monotheistic Abrahamic type of Iluvatar. If the Japanese were making if the Japanese were making the next God of War, you think in their translation the word kami would not be used? They would use the word like, I don't know, like gaddo. They would be saying gaddo. You know, no, they wouldn't. So okay, now we understand what that word what the word actually means in Japanese. And now let's translate it to English accordingly. What's the proper translation then would be? God. So yeah, so weird. Anyway, so it took me many days, despite the game only being like probably 12 hours long. I finally finished Uncharted 4. You know, something I've been dreading for over a decade, I think, right? Well, actually, I think almost exactly a decade, right? Yeah. And yeah, I hated every second of it. Dead of Boy 2018 had redeeming qualities, lots of redeeming qualities. That game is quite alright, actually, all things considered. I did not like a lot of it, but I probably liked almost a similar amount of things about it. And in the end, I would not give it below 6 out of 10. I would not give it below that. Uncharted 4 is everything I was afraid Dead of Boy was going to be. It is barely a game. It is so scripted that there are some legitimate like battle arenas that you just have to win. But most of the action encounters are so scripted to where if you go right, 10 enemies will spawn in front of you. If you go left, 10 enemies will spawn there. But the other 10 enemies from the previous scenario will literally never even appear. The game just orchestrates and directs this whole cinematic bullshit for you, but there is no actual game in it. It's just all fake. And except for just a few encounters, it's that. Oh, you have a thing where you can kind of like semi-stealth through? Well, God forbid anyone notices you, because if they do, literally 20 times the amount of soldiers currently on the screen will keep spawning until you're dead, essentially. It's fake game. There's hardly any gameplay. There's so much walking and talking. They learned nothing from Uncharted 3. Nothing. Pacing is all over the place. You teleport around the world. There is no continuity until the last quarter of the game. Uncharted 2 teleported a little bit also, but at least the second half of the game was one continuous stretch. Uncharted 1, in its entirety, one continuous stretch. Uncharted 3, shit pacing. Nobody loved that game. Everyone said Uncharted 3 is just redundant. Like, we don't know what Uncharted 3 is about even. Like, who is it for? It's just too much at this point. It's pointless. There is no point in Uncharted 3. Say 3, okay? Uncharted 4 learned absolutely nothing. They just made Uncharted 3 again, but with like, well, with the 8th generation graphics. Fantastic. I don't get it. The game literally doesn't even start until about 3 hours in. Until Scotland, it's like you're not even playing the game. You walk and talk, or you climb. Some of the climbing is actually half engaging, but most of it isn't. And what the game really loves to do, it loves to make you slowly walk and talk, and then climb a little bit more. And then it gives you a cutscene. Bitch, I don't feel like watching a cutscene by then. Give me a cutscene after a tight action scene. Maybe I will watch it. I'm not gonna watch a cutscene after I was just like literally sleeping for 15 minutes. Because cutscenes in that game, in Uncharted 4, like, I don't understand why people love the game. Cutscenes are insufferable. There is no charisma to any of the characters. All the charisma was just sucked out of it. No one is particularly happy to be there. Everyone just talks like this. Yeah. It's just like everyone's depressed. Everyone's tired. Everyone just wants to go home and not know what to do with their lives. And there's also no direction, pretty much, in the entire thing. Half the cutscenes are unskippable also, for absolutely no reason. Yeah, like most of the cutscenes are literally just reverse shot of people talking. That's not how it used to be in the previous games. Those cutscenes were tight and fast. And even when there was a lot of talking in those cutscenes, people were actually moving around. People were moving around in the environment, you know, walking up to things, examining things, turning around, going some other place and be like, interesting. So this is what it means. And in Uncharted 4, it's just, hello, how are you doing? Oh, I am doing okay. How are you? Waiting 10 seconds. I feel like I might be sad about something. Oh, don't be sad. Everything will be okay. Like, after a few cutscenes like that, who the fuck is going to follow that story? I don't understand. The game has a few interesting combat arenas that legitimately felt like, okay, this is a cover shooter, but it's like a good cover shooter. I could actually get behind what is currently happening on the screen. I feel like I'm engaging with the situation. I feel like I'm making meaningful decisions. But it's not even a handful. It's like once I actually caught myself like thinking that, and maybe once or twice. Yeah, you see, police is coming because one cannot express a negative opinion of a Naughty Dog game, on a Naughty Dog game. But yeah, maybe once or twice, essentially 3 times tops, I felt like I was actually engaging with the game as a player. The rest of the time, I did not even remotely. Walking and talking is absolutely terrible. All the adventure elements of the game are pretty terrible. Some of the mechanically, there are some relatively interesting moments, but then again, even the stupid repetitive bullshit. Anya, are you coming or not? Come on. Even the repetitive throw the hammer stuff from God of War, like even that, if you remember, I referred to as mechanically satisfying. Well, Uncharted 4 is not mechanically satisfying in any way, at no point, but it is mechanically interesting, as in, like, you know, at one point the game gives you the ability to drive a car around a relatively open environment, and it doesn't actually even feel like the car is on rails. I mean, it is on rails, but it feels okay. You know, you can drive the boat around, and yeah, I get it. If Naughty Dog absolutely wanted to, they could make a game with those types of mechanics. Yeah, but like, what of it? You can drive your car in essentially a completely linear level, and why? What of it? What do you gain from that? I don't get it. You can stop a few times and go explore not even a shed. There will literally be like like a skeleton of a building. Not even a skeleton, it'll be just like a few pillars left standing from an old building, and by one of them there will be a treasure to pick up. Okay, and what does that do for me? Those treasures do absolutely nothing. There are a few things to unlock for after you beat the game for the first time. There are a few things to unlock, but and treasures give you points for unlocking stuff, but other than just a few things to unlock for which you need like 20 points tops, like, I don't understand who you collecting all that stuff for. Like, some of that stuff could actually help you to beat the game on crushing, maybe, if you absolutely have to, but who's gonna, like, the game is nearly unplayable on crushing. I played on crushing until chapter 18, I believe, and early on in the Elena section, there's a part where you have to sneak up this like cliff and steal the jeep, steal the car, right? Well, it's an actual jeep, so yeah, steal the jeep. And the thing is that unless you kill everyone in that area beforehand, on crushing, once you get into the jeep into the car, you're just one shot and you're dead. And you're obviously meant to stealth through that area of the game. So on crushing, even if you stealth, you get in the jeep and you're dead. So, like, okay, so that whole thing just doesn't work, literally. So what do you want from me? To just, like, shot everyone dead in that area? Maybe if I try literally the entire day, because on crushing, like, the game is just not made for crushing. Just like I said, it's the game absolutely expects you to take damage in certain set pieces, and some of those set pieces are not part of like a separate environment. They still play by the rules of the general game. So yeah, you have the set piece kind of moment, but you still have your health bar, you know, your normal health bar. Like a pretty good example, you know, during the car chase scene, right? Everyone always talks about the stupid car chase. Well, the stupid car chase, the thing with the stupid car chase, right, is that you, it's a 100% on rails set piece. It requires a little bit of player input to be completed, yes, but mostly it absolutely plays by a different set of rules, right? Because you can easily tank quite a few shots during that set piece. Normally, on crushing, 2 shots and you're dead, you know? During that set piece, you can absolutely tank quite a few. So that set piece operates on a bent version of the rules so that the set piece can actually work. But then the game will expect you to have like mini set pieces occasionally, you know, that still operate on the rules of the on the base rules of the, you know, of the game in the current mode that you're playing. Like you need to steal the car, get in the car and drive away. And the game expects you, you know, to stealth through the area. You get in the car, enemies notice you, they start shooting you. Oh no, enemies are shooting and I'm driving through being shot. Oh yeah, high octane. Yeah, but on crushing, if you do that and they shoot you and you're dead in 1 second. So the whole thing just doesn't work. On top of that, just in general, there are a few encounters in the game that are just nearly impossible on crushing, unless you have cheats. But you don't have cheats until you complete the game once. So it's like, yeah, okay, then why do you allow me to choose crushing then? Crushing was not even grayed out. It wasn't even an option at all, I don't think, in the previous Uncharted games. I think Uncharted 3 may have had crushing unlocked by default. 1 and 2 definitely did not. I did complete the second game on crushing. It was tedious because action in Uncharted 2 was just ridiculous. First one on crushing was really fun. Third, I didn't even bother. I barely managed to play through the game once. I think I played it a little bit more after that, but I was just like, this is so soulless. And 4 was just blatantly not made for crushing at all. I'm not necessarily saying that like it's too hard. Like, no, if they wanted to make this time, they wanted to make crushing absolutely brutal, then yeah, okay, cool. But the game still needs to be balanced, you know, so that it works. You know, if there's a set piece where you're expected to take damage, and on the highest difficulty though, you die in 1 shot, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no body armor. There's no perk you can buy, you know, to like, you know, take no damage for 10 seconds. Uncharted 1 could actually benefit from kind of like Uncharted 4, sorry, could actually benefit from something like that, but it doesn't have anything like that. So I'm expected to take damage. I of course do take it because it's literally impossible to get through that part without taking damage. So yeah, so you do take it and you die. And the whole thing just literally impossible on crushing. Unless you just kill everyone in that area, which on crushing is, like in that specific instance, is nearly impossible without cheats. So it's like, so why is that option even available to me then? Anyway, I think after 11, no, not 11, sorry, I meant 19. After 19, so like the last 3, well, the last one doesn't count, but like, yeah, 20 and 21, and 21 is just, you just walk forward for 15 minutes, that's the entire chapter. But 20 is the dead shipyard thing. Yeah, by then I was on moderate, because I thought, okay, I got through the mines or tunnels or whatever on crushing, and a few encounters there were just absolutely broken, including the stupid fucking mummy room. And yeah, I'm like, okay, so I'm clearly near the game's end. Let me check how First of all, I'm not interested in one more big fucking like survival arena on crushing. I'm just wasn't interested at all. Like I was done with that experience, you know. I'm like, okay, I don't feel it necessary for me to finish the game on crushing. I feel like I've gotten the idea, right, of what the game is like. So I put it actually on moderate because I've tested it before when I just started the game, and between hard and crushing, I didn't notice any difference. I couldn't tell the difference. It felt the same to me. So I put it on moderate, and that's how I finished the game. And moderate is just easy mode. It's just impossible to die. And I did just for the lols, by the way, I did try the game journalist difficulty, and you literally, you cannot die on that mode. You have to stand for 30 seconds under like a machine gun fire in order to die in that mode. Like even the fact that you can die in that mode is it's a formality. It's just there so that you technically could, you know, but for all practical applications, it's impossible. Even if you play a complete asshole, even if you literally try to melee everyone, you probably cannot. Probably cannot. Wait up, push, I'll unhook you. Wait up. Heine. I'll unhook you for a minute while I wrap this stuff up so you can go eat a piece of poop or something. Okay. Yeah, as a third-person shooter, first of all, who the hell wanted a third-person shooter even 10 years ago? So I don't understand that. From The Last of Us, they literally learned nothing or rather, not even they, so Uncharted learned nothing from The Last of Us. So still the broken up pacing of Uncharted 3, which is just trash pacing. Absolutely dead, characterless characters. You know, charisma vacuum characters, which again, The Last of Us characters were a little bit understated, but there was a reason for why everyone was kind of like a little bit sad, you know. There's a pretty good reason for that. But also, Uncharted 4 learned nothing from The Last of Us in terms of just like deeper systems. You know, there's no crafting, there is no kind of upgrade system at all, other than cheats after you finish the game once anyway. So it's just a 100% linear thing where you cannot improve your odds in any way. You know, you cannot improve your character in any way. You cannot spec your character in any way to make your, well, say for example, crushing playthrough easier. Like I said, wouldn't it be nice to just, you know, have the ability to tank through damage for 5 seconds? Like, it would feel so smart if you had a perk like that, like an activatable perk like that, in that specific like steal the car moment, and you could activate it and actually get through that moment, because it's only like 5 seconds long, but it's 5 seconds you cannot get through on crushing unless you kill everyone first. And the game means for you, obviously, to play on moderate or even game journalist difficulty. The game means for you to sneak by all the enemies, get in the car, and drive away as they shoot at you. Literally impossible on crushing. So, yeah, you see, like, it would feel so smart if you had some kind of perk you could activate on crushing before doing that, so that you can just, you know, absorb all damage for like 5 seconds. But no, the game doesn't have anything like that. Some of the stealthing was okay, but everything is broken on crushing. Stealthing basically doesn't work on crushing at all. Enemies just see you through walls. They also shoot you through corners. Once one enemy notices you, 1 millisecond before you take them out, all the other enemies are immediately alerted and they know precisely where you are, even if you are behind the corner by the time they actually get in the line of sight of you. Even for 2016 or 17, whenever that game came out, honestly, embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. Even by the standards of 10 years ago, guys. 10 years ago, we had games that could do that type of stuff, properly. So, yeah, ridiculously shallow game mechanically, or systematically, rather, I should say. Mechanically, it can be a satisfying shooter occasionally. Yes. Sure, I'm gonna put the gloves back on. It's an okay shooter, but it's quite a bit janky, and it's jankier than previous Uncharted games too, believe it or not. Somehow, with the new engine came new jank. Animations are not as smooth as they used to be. If you like jerk your controller back and forth, if you jerk the right stick back and forth, the character just starts like teleporting between absolutely different animation stages and stuff like that. Wasn't smoothness of like transitional animations one of the main technological breakthrough of the first like Uncharted game and the other two. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking, and also I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if that was actually the case in previous games, because it's been a while since I played those. But who the hell thought of having the roll button to be tied? Take cover and the roll button are the same buttons, so the whole thing just literally doesn't work. You're trying to roll away from like an enemy fire, and instead you just keep gluing yourself to shit around you. And like, no, I'm trying to keep moving, and the game tells you keep rolling so that enemy cannot shoot you. And then yeah, okay, so I am trying to roll, but my character instead sticks to things. Fantastical just mechanic, love it. Yeah, and people do agree with me, by the way. The game is borderline unplayable on crushing. And it doesn't work mechanically the way it is supposed to work. Like ropes, like if you do the rope swing on crushing, you're just dead. So why even have those in arenas, right? So yeah, like nothing about that game even works at all on crushing. You literally have to play it on moderate, not even hard, because hard and crushing in my they balance the same in my experience. Just play on moderate, and you'll get a very easy experience. If you are on mouse, by the way, some encounters I put the controller down and I did them with my mouse, because I could just like headshot people easily. I was playing without auto aim on crushing, and there is a lock on aim, by the way. You literally play the game like it's Siphon Filter. I don't think you can activate that on crushing. But yeah, I tested it, and it's ridiculous. It's literal like auto locker. It's like PS2 GTA games. You just log on straight to the enemy and you shoot them. And funny enough, when I tested the game, because when I switched on moderate, I also turned the auto aim. Not the lock on aim, but I turned the aim assist all the way up. And I couldn't tell it. I couldn't tell that aim assist was on, because I was playing on the lowest sensitivity. That was the only way if you actually aim without aim assist, you have to have the whole thing on the lowest sensitivity. And I couldn't tell that the aim assist was even on. I couldn't feel it. But the enemies were definitely dying easier because I was playing on moderate. So with a mouse, you can kind of achieve, I suppose, like on mouse, crushing is much more playable. In fact, I wouldn't get through some of the environments if I didn't put my controller down and didn't do keyboard and mouse thing. But yeah, people do agree with me that there are topics. There is a topic on NeoGAF. It only has 3 pages, but it's like 3 pages full of people saying, yeah, crushing just doesn't work. And I was like, yeah, okay, so why is that an option? I don't know. But yeah, if you play in moderate, moderate is stupidly easy. Moderate is just like a... hard is the same thing as crushing, and moderate, it should have been called medium. I don't know, moderate sounds strange now that I say that out loud. I don't know how previous Uncharted did it. Probably the same. But anyway. Yeah, it's like super easy and so unengaging. I probably would have hated it even more, honestly. Because on crushing, you at least feel like you like did something. You know, when you got through the environment, you actually outsmarted this broken game. On moderate, I would feel like, okay, I outpressed the buttons of this game to get through this thing that required absolutely no effort of me. So yeah. What else? What else? Graphically, the game is garbage, by the way. It's so blurry. Forced TAA, cannot turn that stuff off. The game is so goddamn blurry, man. It literally would give me headache if I kept playing like that. But just like in every single game that relies on TAA for rendering, if you force it off, there are ways to force it off. You can Google that. If you force it off, the rendering just breaks. There will be parts of geometry that are rendering right in front of your eyes, that are being called right in front of you. There will be certain effects like particle effects, you know, like dust particles and stuff like that, will suddenly become almost like noise. They will just like shed off the lighting, shed off all the lighting, and just become like white pixels, like a broken pixel, almost, type of thing. And you will stand and you will, you know, walk into like a cloud of dust, and your whole TV will just your monitor just explodes in like a noise, you know, explosion. So yeah, not fun at all. I played like that, of course, because I couldn't play with TAA. But you know, if the game's rendering was not relying on TAA to actually work, it would look okay, I suppose, especially, you know, for a 10-year-old game. But nothing special, because design-wise, the game is very meh. Like, there is nothing even remotely cool about it. There's nothing even remotely interesting about the environments. Like the U-boat in the middle of jungle, you know, of Uncharted 1. Nothing like that at all even happens in Uncharted 4. So like the whole thing with like, I don't know, you can like boot up any of the Trauma series, Tomb Raider reboot franchise, and you will actually see something interesting. Uncharted 4 is so boring to look at. It is so generic, so grounded. I don't know. You could make still a more grounded take on Uncharted, but just have some soul, for fuck's sake. I don't know, man. So yeah, that's why the game is like, I find the game rather ugly. Also, they modeled the characters all wrong. Like, I don't know. Sully, first of all, Sully doesn't look like Sully at all. He kind of looks like Sean Connery or someone like that, like a really, really old Sean Connery, but also kind of like melted on soy. And Drake looks like he skipped all of the leg days. Drake didn't used to look like that at all. Drake, for some reason, he looks like he has like the upper body. His upper body is almost entirely he has a square physique. Okay, he is shaped like a square. He has super broad shoulders now. Well, he used to in the past also, but now he has these giant shoulders. Like, absolutely, his entire body is just a square. And he has his neck is giant. His face is bigger. His neck is giant. He's been doing like some neck work, absolutely. But his arms are kind of normal, and his legs are. So he has this weird deformed, like super deformed body, where he has this giant neck out of nowhere, and the rest of his body is rather like dwarvish, but his legs are still normal. I don't know. Drake just looks like a freak. Yeah, he absolutely does. So, rather weird. rather weird how they did it. I don't know if that was just like a purposeful attempt to, like, we need to make Drake look like freak so that people don't like him, because it's Neil Druckmann. Neil Druckmann needs to make audience hate all the characters that were, written by better writers, that preceded him in his role at Naughty Dog. It's like, we need to kill Joel. We need to make Nathan look like a freak. We need to, burn everything down, I suppose. I'm Neil Druckmann, lol. So, yeah. The game is rather ugly. But ugly in a internal, sense. It's ugly on the inside. It's ugly characters with ugly characters. Or rather, just like boring and soulless, empty and ugly characters, very bland environments that don't say anything, very little highlighting of anything actually interesting. You know how you would have like a highlight of the scene, like the centerpiece of the scene, that's like really mind-blowing, like the U-boat in the jungle, as an example, no, like nothing like that. Everything is just bland. Everything is flat. There's nothing to look at. Level of detail is okay. Textures are okay, I suppose. But the rendering is all fucked because you either play the whole game blurry with a headache, feeling like you need glasses, or you have like all this, like calling glitch galore. Which also, yeah, like, not a particularly better alternative. A better one, but it makes the game look glitchy. The game is way more janky than previous Uncharted games. A wall sticking, constantly getting stuck on characters, by the way. There's always someone with you, by the way. Previous Uncharted games, I would say in some of them, maybe even half the time you were by yourself. Uncharted 4 cannot have you by yourself at all. You are never alone. You are literally alone for one portion of one chapter for like 10 minutes. That's it. The game cannot have you be alone for any longer because there constantly needs to be someone, with whom you need to press the interact button to give them a boost, and someone to, tell you, Drake, you're not as good as you used to be, and my friend Neil Druckmann, actually, says you're kind of overrated, and that madam that wrote you originally was not even that good of a writer as he himself, my friend Neil Druckmann. Do you know that, Nathan? It's like, yeah, okay. Okay, thank you, video game. Thank you, Neil, for your brilliant writing. Like constantly need this stuff. Banter and writing, by the way, in that game is so fucking Reddit, man. Uncharted has always been quirky and relatable, but there was actual charm and wit to Uncharted banter. In 4, it is... I'm not necessarily gonna say that it's like 100% Reddit, because it's still, 10 years ago. So the Reddit millennial writing in video games wasn't quite as bad yet, but you could see the roots of it absolutely in Uncharted 4. And one thing about it that's undeniable is how forced it is. How characters are desperately trying to just keep talking, and something funny will come out. Like, dude, just shut up. What you just said was so stupid and not funny at all. And, like, observational humor is just ridiculous. Again, like, just comment on everything that's happening. And the jokes they pull out of those commentary, oh, dude, some of them are Reddit. Some of them are Reddit hard. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't understand why people like Uncharted 4 so much. I thoroughly believe that every single person who says, actually, Uncharted 4 is my favorite in the franchise, is just people who never played a single other Uncharted game. Like, there's no way in hell you can play Uncharted 4 and that not being the first game or just generally work of fiction you've ever consumed in your life and be impressed. No, it's actually very demoralizing. It's very uninspired and uninspiring. It's depression-inducing with its just emptiness and pointlessness. And what a waste of everything. Resources, time, my time, your time, game developers' time. I thoroughly... Okay, there are elements of that game, right? Because it was still made by a game development studio. Some of the people in which, are professional video game designers. There are elements of fun. There are fleeting moments, like not even episodes, but just like moments of fun in that game. Absolutely. But they do not save the slog that is the overall just gray depression that rules over it and rules over you while you get through it. If somehow you manage to sit through all that and say, oh, what an elevated cinematic experience I have just experienced. Like, dude, there is just something wrong with your brain. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for saying it. I'm sorry for you. But yeah, everything wrong that I expect to be with God of War 2018, that game actually turned out to be quite alright. It had problems. Oof, big problems. With repetition, a little bit of boringness, way too much repetition. But it was a video game at the end of the day. And everything that people would normally attribute to something being a cinematic slop trademark was not that aggressive in God of War 2018. No. Almost to the point where it hardly even bothered me. Except for the opening. The opening was difficult, okay? Everything else was fine. Uncharted 4, it's like the first hour of God of War 2018 for 20 hours straight. With some genuinely okay shooting happening for like a couple of minutes here and there, not even a handful of time throughout that experience. Oof. Just oof. I don't know if there's anything more I want to say about it. I probably could, but story characters, no. Graphically, very uninspired, boring, and if you want to play it so that it doesn't hurt your eyes, culling is all glitched out. Fantastic. As a third-person shooter, it's okay sometimes if you play it on moderate and somehow manage not to have the most brainless, easy experience of your life. But, first of all, there's that, and second, do you need another cover shooter? Even 10 years ago, did you need another cover shooter? So yeah, I don't know. Oof. I cannot say I'm glad that I now know how bad that game is and how right I was to avoid it the entire time. I cannot say I'm glad I played it, but I suppose I am glad now that I know how bad it is, so that if anyone ever in any conversation brings up the fact that, oh, cinematic slop games like Uncharted 4 and God of War 2018, like, nope, stop right there. Stop it. No, shut up. You're wrong. God of War 2018 may be cinematic, but it's not cinematic slop. And Uncharted 4, yes. Uncharted 4 might be the worst thing I've played in the last 10 years. Well, obviously, I didn't play obviously bad games. I didn't play the Saints Row reboot, I didn't play... I don't even know what else you guys are playing. Silent Hill F, I don't play stuff like that, obviously, but Uncharted 4 was from 10 years ago, and also it's part of the, Uncharted franchise. So I decided, obviously, that, I should probably know if it's actually bad or not, and yes, it is. No, if anyone ever attributes, like, being a soulless cinematic slop with zero player agency to God of War, I'm gonna call them out on that, and if they ever fucking say anything even remotely good about Uncharted 4, I'm gonna destroy their ass. That game is just... I'm not even going to use any pejorative adjective here. I'm just going to say Uncharted 4 is hardly even a game at all. And it's, so whatever it is, it's definitely not fun. nor good for whatever it's trying to do. Okay, I'm gonna be going. Bye-bye. New video out. Zenjaku Drone. Zenjaku Drone live. Go do it. Go do it. Go watch. Alrighty. More Patreon updates, by the way. Soon. There will be more stuff said there. So yeah, follow channel, follow Patreon, all that. Bye-bye. What's up, Pupi Chipach? I'm sorry, I want to stay live for a few more seconds. You're not interested at all in walking about? Who are you? Me. Can people even see you? I don't think they can. Okay. Yeah, because like for some reason, if I literally say bye and press stop streaming, in the VOD, it doesn't even get to that point. It's like the whole 30 seconds before then is where the actual cut happens for some reason in the VOD. So I suppose I'm gonna cut now.